Hello everyone, we are talking about durability and brick bond. So today's goal is to make a nice durable house. Something that's durable is something that will last for a long time. It's something that's sturdy and it's not just gonna fall over. If we look at my house here, let me take off my roof. So my house is made using two color bricks. Now you don't have enough of the same color to do this, but I did it in this design so that you guys could see how I'm interlacing and how we have a good bond going on here. And we're gonna talk about all those different things. But just look, if I try to pull the walls apart, nothing, it's sturdy. If I try to I can even punch my house, nothing. It's like the big bad wolf, he's huffing and puffing and punching the house and nothing falls out. And part of it, let me see if I can get the bottom off of my house too. The door's got to come. The door isn't sturdy. But right here, you can see it's all one piece. Everything is interconnected, and we're going to talk about how to build a house that's just as sturdy today. So it all starts with talking about brick bonds, and as you can see, brick bonds are how bricks are laid. Some bonds are stronger than others, and we name them after the pattern. So this first one here, this is called a stack bond, because we literally, as we're building it, we take bricks and we stack each brick on top of the next brick. This is about the worst thing you can do with Lego. Stack bonds are not very sturdy. Unlike real masonry, real bricks that we build houses out of, there is nothing in between that's going to harden and give us a little more structure. Lego uses friction, and the pieces just kind of interlock, and that friction holds them together. So, not a great design. If I just tap it, oh, look at that. Part of my wall came out, right? I mean, I'm sure you could even shake it hard enough for some of it to come over. But because they're not connected to each other, individual components can fail. Stack bonding is not great. If you notice, when you're building Lego, that you're stacking a brick directly on top of another brick, find a different way to do it, because it's not a very sturdy one. So that's our stack bond. Our next one, this is probably the most common that we see here on buildings here in America, and this is called a running bond. What we basically do is you take a brick and you stack it over the intersection of the previous two bricks. So every time we put a new brick on, it's basically covering up the vertical seam that we have here with a horizontal seam. You'll notice as you look, there's no vertical lines. This one, lots of vertical line. You can trace this crack all the way up. This seam goes all the way to the top. When we have our running bond, none of those lines go all the way to the top. They're stopped because we alternate our brick placement. So this is very durable, right? If I hit this, if I punch it, what eventually happens, the whole wall fails together. It stays as one solid piece. This is not one solid piece. One solid piece, and we don't have any lines going all the way to the top. Instead, we have a lot of capital T's. That's what I call them, capital T's, where you follow a line, capital T's. If you look at it this way, they look like H's or capital I's. However you want to call it, we just don't have any vertical lines. That's a running bond. Now, for some other bonds that are named after their patterns, we have what's called a Flemish Bond, because it comes from Belgium, where we have the Flemish people. And you'll notice too, little bit different design, but we still don't have any vertical lines. All of our vertical lines have an overlap, so there's nothing that's going straight up and down. It's just another way to achieve the same thing. Look, again, if I push this wall till it comes off, it breaks as one solid wall. Very durable. just a different pattern. We also have the English Bond. Again, slightly different pattern, but you'll notice the same thing. There are no vertical lines that go to the top. They're all covered by another brick. So, lots of durability. Again, if this wall fails, it fails as one whole brick. See how I can drop it? It stays together as one whole brick. So we've got all of these different bonds. Stack bond, running bond, Flemish bond, English bond, lots of different ways that we can stack Lego together. You can even do a mix of all of them. The point is that anytime you have the lines, the vertical lines, we want to cover those up with the horizontal seam right here. No lines going all the way to the top. All right, the next thing that we want to talk about is interlacing. When we look at my house here, the reason why it all stays together, even if I pull apart this way, it's still staying together. I pull this way, I push this way, it stays together because our corners are interlaced. If you take your fingers and you put them together and you hold down, it's much harder for somebody to break that bond. If it's like this, really easy for your fingers to slip. If you go like this, very hard. So we are interlacing. That's this term, interlacing. You have a brick going this way, then we have a brick going this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. What interlacing does is it makes these corners nice and strong here. This is interlaced. Notice how when I'm building it, here we'll take off two of them. You can see this brick running this way, this brick running this way. So where do I put the next bricks? I cover all the seams this way. This one was going this way, so the next one's gonna go the opposite way. It's kind of like my fingers coming together like this, one on top of the other, but with bricks. That gives us a very strong bond. I'm pulling really hard, it's not coming apart. Pushed together, you can see it's kind of bending at some of these seams. There's some stress there, but is it failing? No, it's all together. What we want to avoid, again, it's the dreaded vertical seam. If you have two walls, wow, this one, we got a nice stack bond going. We got another good stack bond, or running bond going. Look at this. This wall is one solid piece. This wall is one solid piece, very sturdy. But wait, I didn't interlace. What happens when I hit my wall? It falls over. What happens when I hit this wall? I punch this wall. Doesn't fall over. Punch this wall, falls over. So what we need to do is as we're building our walls, we want to always be thinking of interlacing. Now you guys don't have to have these nice patterns like I've got going on here. So where's my next brick gonna go here? Where's it gonna go? Is it gonna go here? No, I'm not gonna stack it on top. Where should it go? Right here. Covers that seam. Where should my brick go over here? It should go like that. Cover the seam, just like that. So as we are building, and we're building our wall up, just remember every new brick, find those seams, cover them up. If you do that, and I'm not even gonna make a pattern this time, I'm just covering up the seams. If you do that, you get this nice interlace that's happening. So this brick's going this way, this brick's going this way, this brick's coming this way. It's like your fingers going in different ways. All right, that's how we should be building. So I hope you take all this information and you end up building a nice, sturdy house. We can add in our door, and then when you're all done, you can take one of those 16 by 16 base plates and you can put it right on top. And there you go. You've got a super durable, interlaced house that has a running bond. All right, I hope you make something that is just as durable.